Orleans Sewerage and Water Board faces scrutiny, this time on a state level, as Governor Landry vows to review its failures.
The governor signed an executive order creating a task force to look at the board. He hasn't yet named its members. Ashlyn Brothers reports.
Governor Landry wants a new task force to review the New Orleans Sewage and Water Board's billing process, government structure, and management, with the potential to reorganize or change it.
That has never happened before. Generally speaking, governors in the past have not involved themselves in the operation of the Sewage and Water Board at all.
Even though it's a state agency created by the state legislature, the Sewage and Water Board serves just the city of New Orleans. Dillard political analyst Dr. Robert Collins says most governors focus on statewide issues, but he believes numerous complaints, poor aging infrastructure, and catastrophic flooding are all driving forces behind the task force.
The New Orleans Sewage and Water Board has been more of a lightning rod than the sewage and water boards of any other city.
In a statement, Governor Landry says New Orleans residents are far too familiar with the board's frequent failures and says the widespread flooding and drink water violations have become second nature. He went on to say its current operating status is not acceptable and that the executive order will help the board run more efficiently and guarantee tax dollars are being put to proper use. In a series of Lee Zurich investigations, we spoke with several people dealing with high water bills and issues with water meters either not being read or being read incorrectly.
I want to be able to stay here and live in this area, but I hope they can figure out everything with the Sewage and Water Board. You never hear good news about the Sewage and Water Board.
I think this is in the last few years, Sewage and Water Board has just slowly eroded. Top-down bad management. They're there to serve and provide, and they're not doing either. They're saying his tenants actually used all that water. And there's no pools here, so where's this water going?
The 14-person task force appointed by the governor will investigate and compile a report of recommendations, bearing in mind it doesn't have the power to actually implement changes itself. Collins says this may open up more avenues for funding, whether it's state funding or matching federal funding. For example, he says the task force might consider the benefits of collecting a stormwater fee. Also,
given that the city of New Orleans is critical not just for the people and the citizens of New Orleans, but also for the entire state from an economic development standpoint, maybe there needs to be a state appropriation put in the line item of the state budget to repair the infrastructure issues.
But he says it's important to remember money never comes free.
It generally comes with strings attached, and those strings are normally they're going to want to take part in how the money is spent.
The Sewage and Water Board says it welcomes the attention to the utility and the city's needs and acknowledges the importance of restoring public trust. The board brought up one primary obstacle in achieving accurate bills, manual meter reading, and says its installation of more smart meters over the next few years will help the problem. Now, the board says the incoming modern West Power Complex will also help prevent future power failures affecting drainage.